Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday. We are talking about fears that are holding you back from starting your business, fears that might be holding you back from going after your dreams. The reason why we're talking about our fears today is that fears are actually limiting beliefs. It means that there might be some level of uncomfortability or just discomfort in general. There might be some lack of confidence. There might be some research and digging in that you have to do actually within your professional tool belt, within your soul, to just really take a deep look and a good look as far as what professional skills you can offer in your career. And maybe if you are transitioning from a corporate environment into the virtual environment, even if you're considering just leaving your corporate job altogether and starting your virtual business, there might be a lot of fears and a lot of questions that you have, from setting up your virtual office to how do I actually look for clients, to what kind of equipment and what tools do I need, and actually what kind of services do I even offer, and how do I make these services stand out from everyone else who is already in the industry, in this space, and how do I even start building my client portfolio, right? So all of these are very good and legitimate reasons. And a few of the reasons that we put together to talk about in this specific video today are actually coming from our members of the Remote Rockstars Club community. And this is something that we've been asked before. This is something that we notice comes up during our conversations with the community members. You guys messaged, you are excited to just maybe sometimes share your positive experiences and your wins, especially when you onboard a new client. And luckily, and I feel like you're feeling supported in this instance when you're actually sharing some of the negative experiences too, be it your frustration with being unable to sign new clients, or when you're already working with a client, there might be some inconsistencies in your working relationship that are not quite matching up your expectations. So let's just dive in and start with reason number one. And the reason number one is that you might have lost your job, or you might be transitioning from your corporate job and you just can't invest in starting a new business. And it's all understandable, because when you are in the transition period, even if you're just thinking about it, you still have your corporate paycheck. Still, some of the business models and some of the business ventures out there require that starting capital, right? The beauty of the virtual assistant business, or just being a freelancer, is that typically when you sign up on some of the platforms like Upwork, when you start generating conversations on Facebook, so all of those avenues are typically free. So you do not actually have to pay for a membership, be it Fiverr, be it maybe some of the graphic design websites out there. Hire Tech Ladies is another platform. So there might be some online directories where you are able to create your member profile and then just capitalize basically on maybe advertising the profile as much as possible, so people would actually hire you. But typically, if you have a laptop, if you have an internet connection, hopefully you're signed up for a free account with Zoom too. Good lighting, maybe just a little bit of a space on your desk to put your laptop and have a client meeting. So that's typically all you need. And I'm sure you probably already have a pair of headphones that you can just plug in and have your client meeting that way. So that's basically the beauty of starting your virtual assistant business, is that there's no starting capital. So the starting point is very low. The point of entry is very low. And you do not necessarily have to buy any additional equipment. And your computer can be, your laptop can be very simple. Even if it's just a desktop, just make it work, and it doesn't have to have extra memory on it. It doesn't have to be super powerful. So for just regular administrative tasks, it can be a pretty simple computer. It can be a very simple setup, as long as you have time to devote to starting your new business, which might take a little bit of the energy and time investment in the beginning. Then you're basically good to go. So ditching this reason number one, you do not need an investing or starting capital, and you only need to have a very strong desire and passion to serve others. Let's jump into reason number two. Okay, so the reason number two here is that I don't have the skills. and I don't know where to start, right? Everyone has skills. I can tell you this much. And it might not be the type of skills that you might be looking at others and comparing yourself to others that, like, oh my gosh, I wish I had these social media skills. Oh my gosh, I wish I was able to schedule posts like this person does, or I could write these beautiful blogs like this person does. But think and look through your resume. Think about your professional experience, what you've really excelled at previously. What's funny is that on some of the platforms like Udemy or Teachable or Thinkific, some of the courses and maybe some online programs that people advertise are just so simple. The skills that they teach there, how to play chess, how to garden, how to make delicious soups, or how to knit, how to sew, like all of those are actually skills. Yes, there might be not necessarily from the professional area that you might be thinking about, right? But basically, critically review your resume, pick out a few, maybe just one professional skill that you feel confident in and you feel comfortable to perform and you feel like you're fast at it too. And then also maybe add two, no more than three other new skills that you would like to maybe do some research on, maybe test and play with some of the equipment or some of the tools and software programs that are associated with the performance of those skills, and start building them up in your free time. But then definitely capitalize and focus on that one skill that you pick out from your professional career and start advertising it. Again, screaming from the rooftops, apply, 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 and let people know that you are really good at this one thing that you do. And to be completely honest, like niching down from the very beginning is not actually a bad idea, only because specialized people are always in demand. And I can tell you that sometimes a generalist is trying themselves out in different areas, maybe of administrative services, social media management, email marketing, and they can do a little bit of everything. But if you're fast, and if you're very effective in that one thing that you do, that is going to be gold. Only because a lot of clients are really concerned about how much time it actually takes a virtual professional to perform a task. So again, if you can deliver that service promptly and fast, then that's basically a road to success. So that's our reason number 2. If you do not have skills, I'm sure you do. If you're not sure where to start, always reach out to Remote Rockstars. And you know that you have a very supportive community at the Remote Rockstars Club group on Facebook. You do have the skills, one more time, that I want to mention. And again, reach out to us privately in a message or maybe post something in the group that you're struggling with. But I can assure you, there is definitely 2 to 3 skills that if you and I talk about your professional experience and what you used to do before, that we can definitely pick out a few very important things that you can definitely start selling as a service right away. Okay, going into reason number 3. And that is actually, I am scared to do it because, and you can fill in the blank with whatever other fear that comes up for you. So you're scared to work virtually, you're scared to go out on your own. And you know what? I can actually relate, because I always think that in the corporate environment, we're so used to things being figured out for us. So we have our list of responsibilities, right? We have kind of like our designated description of the position. And we are so comfortable in that feeling where you know that there is usually an accounting department that's going to process your check, right? All you have to do is just fill out the payroll paperwork. And then you know that you're usually given the computer and you're given the specific time frame of when things are usually due, and you're just kind of like chugging along. You're going through your task list and you're trying to be your best at your position. But a lot of the back end, a lot of the things that are keeping the company afloat, the operations are taken care of by other people, other departments, and that's just how the corporate world works. And here you are having a little bit of a fear of starting your own virtual business only because all those departments are going to be you. And all of those departments are going to be on you also to run and to keep in mind and to make sure like how to do all those little things. So I can totally relate. And even though Remote Rockstars has been in the virtual workspace for a few years now, there's still a lot of new things that we within the team are learning pretty much, I don't know, every month maybe, discovering something new. And then hearing from other colleagues or from other industry aspects to what they do in their businesses, and then thinking like, well, that actually sounds like that could be applicable to us too. So how about we explore that? And I feel like that business journey is actually never ending, and that's just part of it. And it's totally reasonable, right? It's the only thing is that fears will have to be just your other friend, I feel like, on your business journey. So there's definitely going to be passion, there's going to be love, right? And there's going to be like that desire and maybe ambition to provide your services, to offer your services, to sell them, and to keep growing as a professional, and to keep building your client portfolio. And on the other side of you is going to be fear. There's going to be that feeling of being scared of something in particular, not enough time, not enough energy, my family, or whatever else that might be kind of like serving as an obstacle maybe in your eyes of what is preventing you from lack of confidence, right? Preventing you from being successful on your journey. So basically there's going to be plenty of things that are always interfering with our business journey. And if it's, for instance, the reason that one of the fill in the blank is I don't have time, to be completely honest, probably no one really does. I mean, the whole concept of the work and life balance, that's just so relative, I feel like, to every particular scenario in a person's life. Because in someone's life, maybe they do not have children, they do not have pets to take care of, and they have more free time. Maybe they're single and they do not spend that much time with their partner, or typically they are not very sociable person, so spending the time by themselves working is keeping them content. So there are other people who have larger families, right? So who just prefer that social time, and they love spending time with their family, they love spending time with their pets, and whatever else that is taking that time away from work. Again, so everyone, I feel like, is coming up with their own formula for that work-life balance. And if you don't have time right now to invest in the growth of your business and to start actually working on your resume, to start building all these little blocks of your business together, right? And looking for clients, then what is the guarantee that once you actually find that one client or two or three, you actually will have time to work for them and to provide the services? So if you don't have time now to invest in your business, there's no guarantee you're going to have time then. Probably even worse than that, you will not have time, especially if you have a few clients in your roster. So be mindful of that, and just really, do a little bit of soul searching, do again, like a little bit of digging, and decide whether this route is actually for you. Because completely honest, on the business journey, unless you are proactive, unless you are showing leadership, and unless you are going after your goals, your clients, whatever it is that you're after in your business, no one else is going to do it for you. And that's not a corporate environment where other things and our other departments and other pieces of business are going to be taken care of. You will always have to be in charge, and that's a huge difference from working for yourself as opposed to working for someone else in a corporate environment. Another thing that comes up here, fill in the blank here, I'm scared to spend the time on looking for clients, on advertising my services without the actual guarantee that they're going to respond to my resume, they're going to respond to my application letter, that they will like my professional portfolio and want to work with me. Yes, it's definitely a work and time investment to go after the people and the clients that you want to work with, and to go maybe after some marketing opportunities, to go after some visibility, PR, podcast opportunities. There is no guarantee that they're going to say yes to you. Absolutely not. And I feel like it's not only just in our virtual business, it's part of any type of business. Rejection always hurts. A lot of people take rejections personally, right? And the only thing is that if you don't try, then you're not going to be able to find out. And if you don't try, then who knows, are you going to succeed? On the other side of that fear, on the other side of that action is always transformation. There is always a reward for that discomfort, for that step, courageous step that you take. And I can tell you that it is actually always rewarding on that other side, because it's the reward to you and it's the validation to you that when a potential client says yes, it means that they saw something in you. It means that you were able to sell your services, and it means that they need your support. They need your work. And that's super rewarding, right? And at the same time, once you have been working already with a client for some time and you see the growth and success in their business, that's also a rewarding moment, because you are now part of that life in their business, right? You're now a part of that success. And that's just an honor and privilege. At least that's how we see it with Remote Rockstars. Another point that I'm going to mention here, and that's the very last one actually, is that I am not good at English. I'm not an English speaker, and that is my fear for starting a virtual business. Well, if not me, who else can relate? I am neither. So it's funny because I feel like with the variety of virtual assistant jobs and with a variety of different areas that you can potentially offer your professional services in, the knowledge of the English language is not necessarily an obstacle. For instance, do not pick up jobs that have you do that English language writing or editing or proofreading, something that you would not be comfortable with. Content creation just might not be your thing. And honestly, I always tell my clients, and I'm being very honest with them, even though I do have a master's degree in linguistics and I am able to pick up in editing a lot of just the real little elements, I'm not a writer. I'm just not a content creator. If they create content, I'm happy to review it. I'm happy to polish it and maybe trim it a little bit, make it a little bit more marketable or salesy, but I'm just not a creator. So if, for instance, you're working with a client where you establish the relationship where your client provides you with the caption for a social media message, and then you create a graphic, a beautiful graphic for it, that's a great working relationship. Because not only with that caption, it's going to truly capture and represent their voice and their language, but they also still at the same time feel supported that you are handling the other part of this project or their social media management, right? And you're actually making it all happen by scheduling and then coming up with a calendar and still holding it all together while they are helping you out with the small piece. So maybe do not take the blog writing or the website content creation jobs, right? And maybe do not take copywriting jobs if you don't feel comfortable or if you don't have that confidence level to really sell those English language specific services. So very simple. There's still a whole lot of more that you can do aside from handling that. I would only suggest to always be very attentive, precise, maybe even in your emails when you correspond with your client. Use Grammarly for that grammatical and punctuation support. Definitely pay attention to anything that's usually highlighted by Gmail automatically as a spell check when you're writing the messages. Just make sure that your messages are always polished, and it doesn't matter if it's just a regular everyday communication or you're approaching a client for the first time. Polish up your messages, reread them 3 times, and just make sure that they're mistake and error free, and there are no misspellings, there are no typos, there are no missed punctuation signs and marks. So that is absolutely important to always keep that professional look in any type of work that you do. Again, be it everyday operations or an actual first-time impression that you're trying to make on a client. So the very last thing is fears, like I said, are limiting beliefs, right? And luckily, we've got a lot, like millions of effective tips and tricks that we are sharing in our Remote Rockstars Club community that are available to you through the community members. If you only reach out and post your questions or maybe your struggles and frustrations, we will always be there to support you. And stay plugged in into the community. Always look for other professional organizations and groups that you could be a member of that can help you feel energized and inspired and also motivated to keep on going, to move forward. And then let's just basically keep on working together, moving forward in building your successful rockstar business. Good luck to you. This is all that we wanted to cover today. Make sure that you share your thoughts and your ideas. We always love to hear from you guys and love seeing your comments.